Hello and welcome to this very first lesson in full stack development, and this course consists of 7 modules. And in this first module, module 1, introduction to the internet and the world wide web, so we will look at the overview of the internet, and we will look at the how the web works. So we start with lesson 1 by defining what is internet. So internet is simply the interconnection of several networks. Interconnection of several networks. So, and what is a network? A network is a connection of two or more devices. So when you have two or more devices connected to each other, either through wireless media or through a wired media, then you form a network. And therefore, when you have so many networks connected to each other, then you form the big network, which we call the internet. So the devices on the internet communicate using some defined rules called the protocols. So for the devices on the internet to be able to communicate to each other, they need to use rules to be able to communicate, and these rules we call them the protocols. So there are different protocols for different services on the internet. For example, we have the TCP and IP protocol, the HTTP and HTTPS protocol, we have the SMTP protocol, the DHCP protocol, the FTP protocols. So apart from these other protocols, there are so many other protocols which are used for different services on the internet. And if you look at these protocols, the HTTP protocol is the protocol that is used by the client and the server, client model communication, to request on the web, World Wide Web. The SMTP protocol is the protocol that is used to share emails on the internet. The DHCP protocol is the protocol that is used to assign IP addresses to the computers on the internet or connected to the network. The TCP/IP protocol defines the IP protocol and the communication protocol on the internet. The FTP protocol is used for the file sharing and file transfer on the internet, and apart from this, there are other protocols on the internet. So you can do more research on the protocols to see more of the protocols that are used on the internet and what are their uses. So when you look in this diagram, it represents how the internet looks like, or the basic definition of the internet. So when you look on this other side here, you're going to see there are a group of 3 pieces which are connected to each other, and again over here we have these other 3 or 4 computers which are connected to this switch, forming a local network, and these other 3 or 4 computers here connected to this Wi-Fi router, forming another network, local network. And then when these all networks are connected to each other using this main router, then we form the big network, which is the internet. So once computers are connected on this internet, then they can be able to communicate to each other. They can be able to perform so many services, for example, email sharing, file sharing, communication, voicemail, and so many other services, and even exchanging web applications. So this is very important for you to understand what is internet and how does it work before you get into the coding part of full stack development. With that said, let's pause this lesson here, and then in the next lesson we look at the World Wide Web. Otherwise, thanks and see you in the next lesson.